Okay, behind this door, I have something great. Something you're gonna wanna see.
You've never seen anything like this before.
A new Chevrolet Corvette.
Oh my God.
Corvette like never before.
Never before.
A Corvette superb in its engineering and technology and defiant in its performance.
Okay, this is my most recent poor investment. This is my 1987 C4 Corvette. Now, even though I hyped it up quite a bit in the intro, this Corvette is not the most popular of them all. When people talk about power and performance, they really don't think of the C4 Corvette, but there's a lot of other cool things that go with it. Now, the goal of this series is to trade up this older Corvette into something better. But before we get to that, let me actually show you how I got this thing here. This is Corvette Trade Up, episode 1. And bye now. I mean, I just woke up, so I'm kind of a mess. I just made a bad financial decision. Or maybe a great one, who knows? All right, today's the day. We're gonna go pick up the Corvette. Sun is rising, looks like it's gonna be a great day. Got the Ram loaded with the trailer. Let's go get a Corvette. All right, we picked her up. She's a piece of shit, but she's got potential. Honestly, besides the front damage, pretty clean on the inside. Everything's there. It's only got 82,000 miles on it, so it's got potential. Let's get this piece of shit home. Okay, we got this thing home. Now, I'm told this thing will run and drive. Don't know if it actually will, but the battery's dead, so we gotta jump it and let's see if this thing fires up. I'm excited. I didn't realize this car is honestly kind of tight. It's not as wide, as roomy as I thought. I've driven like a C5 before. He got a bit more room in that. This one's pretty tight, man, but it's cool. Anyway, I got the car in some jumpers. There seems to be some life. Check the oil, check the trans fluid. So let's see if she'll fire up. Okay, it took a little longer than I thought. I think she's ready to start. I got the key. Let's see if she'll do it. Oh. That alone is worth it. Let's give it a try. She's running! There we go! Well, it's definitely been a while since she last ran, but she's going. All right, awesome. All right, before we get the Corvette actually running smoothly, I just want to talk about what we're doing with this series. So obviously if you clicked on this video, you saw the title on the thumbnail and you saw it was a trade up. So yes, this is a trade up. Now obviously I'm not the first person to come up with this idea, but I thought it'd be a fun series and it also gets a ton of views, so. But anyway, the rules for this series are simple. Rule number 1, whatever car we trade up after this Corvette has to have equal or more horsepower. Obviously we're trying to trade for my dream car, which might be on the line of a Z06, if you know what I'm talking about, but that's way down the road. With that being said, this car only has 245 horsepower, so finding another car next that's gonna have more isn't gonna be that hard to do, I think. Equal or more horsepower. All right, for rule number 2, which I guess really isn't actually a rule, we have to stay on a budget. So every time we spend money on this car, a little budget counter is gonna appear in the corner here. This car costs $2,700, so $2,700. And the battery I had to get for this thing cost $200. Cha-ching. So throughout the video, any expenses I have are gonna be added up. So make sure to watch to the end because at the end we're gonna be tallying up the total, and also I have a couple things at the end you're gonna wanna see. Anyway, let's get back to work on this so we can actually get this thing running smoothly because so far we haven't got there. Okay, so like I mentioned in our expenses, we did need to get a new battery for this car, which you can see I'm installing right here. It's honestly kind of a shame how we couldn't get the old battery to hold a charge because it was practically a brand new battery. Cold weather and probably being fully discharged just killed it. Anyway, installing this battery is pretty straightforward. Just slap it in, tighten it down, push up the side cover, secure the side cover, and that's it. Let's see if this works. All right, new battery. Hopefully this gets it going. I think it will. Let's see it happen. Well, that's a great sign. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
She's purring. She's back to life. 40 years and going strong. All right, so we may have came to the conclusion that the alternator's bad. It didn't seem like the car is actually charging. Now that we have battery, we're just gonna try to get this thing off the trailer so we can service it. So let's do that now. The solution to get this thing off the ramp though, called duct tape bumper. So I just strapped a bunch of duct tape to hold this bumper off. Okay, so we have this thing backed up on the lawn. We got less slope here so it can come off without bottoming out on the driveway. So let's see if this works. First thing we got to do to get this car to rip is we got to put a new alternator in it because the old one, it's just not cutting it. It's not giving any charge. So let's get this bad boy in and then we'll go rip it down the road. First thing we got to do is pull this battery off so I don't get zapped. We've already done this once, so let's just make this quick. Hop in the vet. All right, we're going for a ride. Let's do it. Sit down. Stop. Okay, if you've been watching this far into the video, might as well just like and subscribe. Come on, you must be enjoying it. Also, if you're on your phone for mobile people, make sure to hype the video. It's supposed to do something. We're about to go do some rips in the Corvette. Just had to mention it. Battery's disconnected. Start, we gotta get this pulley loose so we can get this alternator off. Yeah, I think it's just a tensioner, pretty straightforward. All right, so we just gotta loosen this tensioner over here. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now that we got the tension off, we can just slide that off. It is pretty easy. All right, now this is the part where if my battery's not disconnected, I'm gonna get zapped to shit. Off with that. Now we just gotta remove the bolts that are supporting it in, and it should just slide right out. There we go. Got this one up here. Okay, and we just got one more hiding down here. There we go, last bolt out. Now we just go ahead and pull this shitty alternator out. There we go, that garbage. All right, now we just squeeze the new one in. Come on, baby, come on. There we go. All right. Now we just gotta do exactly what we did, but in reverse. And then we just plug it back in. Beautiful. Now let's hook the battery back up and see if this works. All right. Well, we have power. Let's see if this new alternator works. It should be reading like 14, 13 if it's working right. All right, here we go. Yep, there we go. Just need a new alternator. We got 14.
Nice.
Just needed a new alternator. Beautiful. We got charge. She's charging up now. Wonderful. Okay, so we got the Corvette running smoothly, maintaining a charge, and it drives, which is all awesome. Anyway, now let's talk about the damage, what actually needs to be fixed in this car. Okay, first of all, without much needed explanation, the hood and the bumper on this car are destroyed. Luckily, almost all the damage on this car is contained into one spot, so it's really not that bad, because the entire right side of this car is in perfect shape. So obviously, hood and bumper need to go. Okay, so that leads me to my next point. We're gonna need a new headlight, because this one's toast. Luckily, the one on the right works completely fine, so I have one headlight at least, but this other headlight we gotta find. Now, honestly, besides that, the car's in pretty good shape. I mean, it only has 83,000 miles on it. It just wasn't an accident. So it's a little special, but that's mainly all we really gotta worry about. All right, now beside the exterior, let's take a look on what's wrong with the interior. Well, just as a starter, we got this window. Doesn't want to go up all the way. Beside the screwed up window, honestly, the interior of this car is not bad at all. It's honestly one of the best parts about this car. We have a completely intact dash, our steering wheel is not torn to shit, and honestly, everything works, including the digital dash, and those are known to go bad. This interior really just needs a good cleaning, which we will definitely get to. And by the time I'm done with it, I believe I can make this interior look almost new. Now, there's only a couple of downsides and fixes we're gonna have to do for this interior. Now, first of all, and probably the biggest problem with this interior is the driver's seat's got a tear right down the crack of your ass. Yeah. Also, the button for the fog light seems to be busted, but that's fixable. And finally, the button to pop the trunk doesn't work. Besides that, this interior, for being 40 years old, it's in very good shape. It just needs to be cleaned. Anyway, I think that's enough yap for now, so let's actually get on to fixing some of this car. All right, to actually start some repairs on this car, I want to start by honestly just getting this hood off and getting the bumper off and just getting rid of the damage. Just clearing the damage so we can inspect what else we might need and what we can keep. And also, I just want to drive this thing a bit more. I really don't want to deal with the hood and the windshield and my bumper dragging on the driveway. So let's start by getting this hood off. All right, getting this hood off is honestly pretty straightforward. It's just 4 bolts, zip, 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 and it comes off. So let's just give this a shot. Hopefully it doesn't come crashing down, but I got to find out somehow. All right, so this is going to be a little difficult of an angle to film, but we'll get it done. I don't know how well it's going to show, but it's just these 2 bolts right here that really hold it all on. Now I just got this one here. Now I am a little concerned about this all crashing down, but I guess there's only one way to find out, really. All right, while I'm at it, I want to quickly take this headlight off because I know this one works. I don't want to damage it taking it off, and it just makes it easier to access it. So I'm gonna do this real quick. And we got it off. Let's get the rest of this hood off. Okay, now we just gotta take these bolts off. It should be pretty straightforward. Bolt number 1. Bolt number 2. Now there are a couple more bolts holding this hood on, but I'm not Hercules and I can't lift this by myself, so I'm gonna get those loose and then I'm gonna have someone help me get this off. So I'll just cut to that. Nice. Nice. Okay, so now that we got the hood off, the next step's really just to take this bumper off, and that'll really give us a clear view to see any other damage this car might have. Luckily, the previous owner did us a huge favor by totaling this entire front. So honestly, half this bumper is already disconnected, so it's really not going to be that difficult to do. Now, everything on the right side of this bumper is completely intact, so we're actually going to have to properly take this off. But this is really the only challenge to getting this bumper off, and I wouldn't even really call it a challenge. It's just a couple bolts we got to take out, and then everything should just slide off. Anyway, that's enough yap for now, so let's get this off. Okay, to start, we just got to zip out a couple bolts that hold this inner fender onto the bumper. Should be pretty easy. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And now this side is loose. Okay, next we gotta remove all these bolts that secure this top bracket in place. I believe there's 12, it should be pretty straightforward with the power drill. Since we got the hood off, this should be really easy to do, so let's get to it. It's already pretty loose. If I did everything right, this bumper should just slide off. Here we go. Oh, what's snagging it? Nice. Be gone, bumper. Nice and trashed. Okay, so now that we have the bumper cover off, looking at the damage here, it's really not bad at all. When this car was in an accident, it really just hit a dead spot where it was just meant to crumple. The frame's not bent. There's really nothing here that shocks me too much. We have a couple of broken wires and brackets we're gonna have to replace, but I can find all that stuff. The main source of the damage was the hood, the headlight, and the bumper, and obviously the bumper support back here. But before you say, wow, those are big pieces, how are you gonna get those pieces? Well, now all I gotta do here is step out of the way, and you will see. Take a look at what we got there. Now, just to keep track, I paid $1,000 for all this. Complete hood, everything with it. The only thing I need is the headlight, and it also includes the fiberglass support in the back and the vacuum stuff that I had broken. So honestly, besides the paint color, we have everything we need back here. So there's really no reason why we can't get this car in great shape. Honestly, the prices I've seen for all of them, $1,000 for both those pieces, the supports for all of it, and every little thing I need on those basically, I think that wasn't a bad deal. Anyway, let's move on to what we're doing next episode. All right, so this Corvette in just one episode has had quite a bit of a transformation. We took this thing from completely not running or charging and getting it running and driving, I'd say rather smoothly. We were able to remove most of the damage from this car. Now, unfortunately, next episode, we're not gonna be slapping the hood on and calling it good. We're actually gonna be taking a step inside the car and working on the interior to make it spotless and look almost brand new. I'd love to do more exterior stuff on this car. I just need more time for all the painting and everything else I gotta do. I'm pretty happy with the progress we made on this car. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you next episode.